Good, okay.
So I'm gonna call calls and meet from there, so she wants me home.
There you go. Good afternoon. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. And before we get started, if you don't mind, let me read through our role as a board and kind of the order and the procedure of the meeting today. We're the 2025 Board of Equalization and Review for Union County. We have been appointed by the county commissioners to hear all taxpayers with respect to concerns and complaints regarding the valuation of their property for tax purposes. Property owners appearing before the Board of Equalization and Review have the right to a fair and equitable hearing. The Board of Equalization and Review has been charged with ensuring that the proper legal principles have been applied in a valuation dispute for tax purposes. So as we start the meeting today, the clerk to my right will call the case, and then the staff will locate the property on the monitor, so we'll all be able to look at the property via the monitor. The information we have in our books, you have the same here. So you'll come forward and just step to the mic and make sure you're talking into the mic and just present your information to us. We do ask you to try to keep it to about 15 minutes and get to the facts, because sometimes these things can get a little long if we don't watch it. After you finish presenting your information to the board, we'll have a chance to ask questions of you, and then you'll have a seat. The county will present their information. We'll have a chance to ask the county any questions. Then they'll be done, and then I will circle back to you for any final comments at that point. We do ask if you're presenting any sales data information, that sales data information must be prior to 1/1/25, since that's the effective date of the property reevaluation. All questions from either party need to be directed to me as chairman. There's no cross-examination between the taxpayer and the county staff. And after we hear the cases, we'll go into the deliberation phase of the meeting. At that time, we'll make our decision. You'll be notified, by the county, normally within about 30 days of the board's decision, and you're welcome to stay for the deliberation phase if you wish. But you will be notified in writing, by the county. By statute, the burden of proof is on the taxpayer to demonstrate that the assessment is erroneous. Only individual taxpayers or licensed residential or certified real estate appraisers licensed to do business in North Carolina may express an opinion of value of real property. No other persons, whether attorneys in fact, attorneys at law, or corporate representatives, are entitled to express an opinion of value of real property. With that, if there are no questions, I just ask that if you would silence your cell phones, and we'll get started. So,
All right, good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon.
We are going to start with hearing number 1. This is for property key number 08048009A. The owners are Charles and Lee Harris, and they are present today.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This property is on the corner of Carl Polk Road and Watson Church Road, which I'll pull out. This is the northern part of the county and Piedmont School District. You've got Morgan Mill Road running north to south here, and to the south is New Salem Road down here. So it's off of Watson Church, which connects New Salem and Morgan Mill Road.
Okay. Thank you.
And I'll scroll in.
God bless. Hello, Mr. Harris.
Hello, I'm Charles Harris. Appreciate y'all's time today. And I'll stick to your request to be
Okay.
brief. This is pretty much the information I put in my original appeal, and you do have a copy. Much easier to read than what I had to do handwritten on the form online. As I was mentioned, I'm kind of familiar with this process. Worked for a city of Charlotte for 30 years in the finance department.
Right.
And about 15 of those years, I actually did the calculation of the tax equivalent rate for the city of
Okay.
Charlotte. So, I've got
So
some-
you're familiar with the process?
Yes. Okay. And I worked with John Petoskey when he was with Mecklenburg County. I was former tax
Oh, yeah.
administrator, so, all right. So our assessed value went from 69,300 based on the 2021 assessment to 159,600, which was a 130% increase. Earlier on, I was trying to find out what the countywide number was. I understand it's about 60 to 65%. So our 6.93 acre tract obviously well exceeds that countywide real estate number. Just for a little bit of background, this land's been in cultivation for over 100 years. The house we live in was built in 1923 by Mr. Vander Simpson, and me and my wife are the second owners. The house sits on 1 acre parcel, separate, that is contiguous to the farmland, as you can see there on the map. The little cutout there is our 1 acre for the house. The 7 acre tract is in cultivation by Parks Helms. He's a full-time farmer, and he's been farming that land for us for over 31 years as we've lived there. Our annual farm income paid by the farmer is usually between $300 to $400, which at the current assessed rate and tax rate generally covers the property taxes, so that's good, depending on the crops that are planted and the yield, et cetera. So that kind of keeps us whole under the current assessment. I think there are 3 main things that, from our perspective, do affect the value of the property, particularly in light of values that represent construction of new homes. One of the items there, I guess you can see that on your screen. So Watson Church Road, I don't know if I can point. Yeah, this is Watson Church Road. This is called Polk Road. And along the back here, the back line of our property is Watson Creek. And the floodplain for Watson Creek extends back into our property, back towards Watson Church Road, between 150 and 270 feet approximately. So obviously with that being in the floodplain, they couldn't build houses there, and there could not be an access road to the tract back there as well. I think another significant fact is the line that runs along Polk Road in this direction, and you can see the property line does not follow the center line of the road. The reason for that is some years ago, I think from Mr. Drake, he's passed, but somewhere in the 40s or 50s or so, they rebuilt the bridge and moved it upstream about 43 feet. So our property does not go to the center line of that road, so we don't actually own all the land on the south side of Watson Church Road. The other big thing is that along from this point all the way to approximately right here, there's a very steep bank. I would estimate that bank is 20 plus feet high. So it would not be accessible with driveways if somebody tried to buy the parcel and build multiple houses on it. So that would obviously prevent some access there. And the 130% increase based on other values, assuming that's heavily tied to construction of new homes. I've got a friend that builds some houses part-time, and he built some houses just here to the west on Henry Balkan Road, and he said those lots were running about $50,000, and he said that lots up towards New Salem are $100,000 now. Mm-hmm. So now some of those may be over an acre.
Yeah.
But, anyway, so I understand that the prices have gone up. Our point is this land has been in cultivation, continues to be in cultivation, and we plan to keep it that way. The last point, there is a deed restriction. When we bought the 1 acre plus the 7 acres from Ebb Griffin, back in '95. He did put a deed restriction. There were 4 additional lots. He sold about 28 acres. Ours was the only lot over 5 acres, and he did put a restriction there that our lot could only be divided one time. So there, by that deed restriction, multiple houses could not be built on the tract, as I understand it. Although that's becoming much more prevalent in our part of the county.
That's right.
Okay. And I'd say, just in general, most of the open land in our community continues to be farmed by local farmers. While some new homes have been built, by and large, the land they were built on was not in cultivation. I understand the revaluation process evaluates property on its highest, best use, but it would seem reasonable that the value of the productive farmland that is in continuous cultivation should be considered. Unfortunately, our tract is less than 10 acres, so we don't qualify for the exemption for farmland. But we would ask for your consideration. I don't know if that's appropriate, but 111 would be right in line with the 60% versus 130% going up to almost 160,000. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, let me see if members of the board have any questions of you, Mr. Harris, Mr. O'Keefe.
Quick question in regard to the one-time division of the tract, the deed restriction, basically. What was the logic behind the deed restriction? Was that just to make everything more attractive, or?
He originally wanted to sell the 28 acres and 4 to 5 acres, and we asked him, wanted to try to buy all the way down to that corner, and he was willing to let us do that. We had originally just bought the house in 1 acre, and he sold that 28-acre tract several years later.
But to understand why he put a deed restriction on it, was that just his being?
He didn't want us to subdivide it and build
Right.
4 or 5 houses.
Gotcha. I wanted to make sure there wasn't a geographic thing or something, the height. Good, thank you.
There was one other point, as you mentioned that, in this corner, this is very low. Matter of fact, I plant cane down here, I make molasses. And so there would be some issues with access here as well.
Okay. Mr. Smith?
No, I want to hear from the county.
Yeah. I think my questions will be to the county too. I'll ask you though, while we've got you up here, the improvements that are on the property, I was thinking it was just one building. Are there multiple structures?
Yes, so I originally built a barn here.
Right.
And then got permits and added a metal building back here for a shop.
Okay.
So
What's the other
What's the
building?
one to the right? Yeah, that one.
that's our house.
Okay.
Yeah, this is,
I kept thinking when you were talking.
no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is our
That's
house.
the
I
house.
apologize.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a barn we built. This is my molasses shed, and then this is a metal building I added about 4 years ago for a shop.
Okay.
I'm sorry, had that shadow on it. and
Well, I kept
it
thinking
looked
when
like
you-
our neighbor's house.
Right. Okay. That clarifies that piece. If you would have a seat and let's hear from the county, then I'll circle back to you with for any final comments.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Just going to turn on. So Mr. Harris mentioned the tract is 6.93 acres total. We do have some flood on the property. It's 0.3327, which we have discounted at 45%. So that area towards the back of the parcel, we have it discounted for flood. He mentioned the 130% increase. It did increase that amount. I will say, I think land increased higher than residential homes did. Residential homes were around 65%. I think land was closer to 90. If you'll go to page 13, I included a photo from the street level where you can see kind of the slope of the property, and I believe to the left of the picture, you can see the hill that he was talking about. That would affect accessing the property at some point, but it does flatten out towards the back. Additionally, on page 29, you'll see we did have some similar sized sales in the neighborhood. We had some right below it and just above it, and price-wise, he's at $22,124 an acre. Median for this group was $25,881, so we're under the median for those sales.
Is there a way to kind of zoom in on those improvements? I know we have pictures of one of them. And it might just be over the top. We can look at it. I don't,
See if I can- Wow.
yeah, kind of that top one's the one we have a picture of, and I was just curious about the other two.
Let's see if I can rotate.
That's a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah, just to give us a little better idea. Okay, I don't know if I interrupted you there or not. Good?
No,
Okay.
that's all I had.
Mr. Marshall, let me see if, Mr. Smith, you have any questions for the county?
Now, when you look at these prices here, do you take into account the fact they could be subdivided or not? Or is
We
this-
do not.
You do not? This
No.
is raw farmland,
Yes,
and that's what farmland's selling for?
correct.
And basically, the bigger it is, the less it is per acre on average, and,
Generally, you'll see
Yeah.
a slide bigger you get.
yeah, once you hit certain levels, it changes.
Right. Yes.
And then, and I guess access, how does that potentially come into play on this property?
Well, yeah, he mentioned access. There's obviously access from Watson Church
Right.
Road. You know, I included the picture on 13 to show that you can see this berm right here
Yeah.
that runs along the side, but there are flat areas towards the front and the rear, and I think the photo kind of shows a little bit better.
Well, I'm not sure the rear has true access because of the property line, if I look at the property line correctly. I think it does at the front, but not the rear, or up to the top.
Yeah, so.
You'd have access there.
Right, and you can actually, it looks like it's been accessed right here. You can see where something's driven onto
I
it.
think that's where the farmer accesses.
Yeah.
And the little corner there, you don't see any impairment on it, the one on the left where the little creek goes around it, or whatever that is? That one there,
This area?
yeah.
I mean, there's access in other points of the parcel. I
No,
don't-
I'm just saying, do you think, is there any potential of that being an impaired, again, a third, half, quarter, I don't know how big it is, because of access, because of the way the little stream runs there? I'm just asking a question. Was that taken
No.
into any consideration?
No.
Okay. That's all I got.
Okay. Mr. O'Keefe?
I've got nothing.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Marshall.
Sure.
And Mr. Harris, any final comments that you have, or?
Just very briefly, based on the questions. You asked a good question about this area. That is the ditch that drains a good bit of 40-acre field across the road. But the other thing here, I think I mentioned it, this is a good, there's steep banks here. It's a good I'd say 15 feet below road grade. So somebody would have to do a lot of filling, and you still have to have this drainage here to come in this way. And then as well at the back, yeah, that's a good question in terms of the reality is back here, I don't own along the
Right.
whole road frontage.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see this is during the the fallow period of the year for farming. But I would say this pretty much approximates the floodplain. So you have very limited access, if at all, back here to keep it out of the floodplain.
Got you.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Harris. Okay, Madam Clerk?
All right, we will move on to hearing number 2. This is going to be for parcel number 07027799. The taxpayer is Musa Ali, and they are present.
Hold on just a second, Mr. Daly.
Thanks. Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This hearing is for the property on Seacrest Landing, which is a townhome subdivision off of Seacrest Shortcut and close to the intersection of Rocky River Road. And that's Rocky River here.
Right.
And it's a secret shortcut. So we could, you want me to zoom in more?
Well, it might help to have a picture, but I think we've got a picture in our packet too, though. I don't know if it makes it a little more difficult with this type of property or not. That's probably good there with what that coupled with what we've got in our book.
It's a fairly new subdivision.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, thank you. And the pronunciation of your last name, is it Ali or Ali? Okay. Okay. Mr. Ali, if you could step to the mic, and we'll go ahead and let you present your information to us.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
And just I want to start with apology because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing this first time, so please forgive me if I'm doing something wrong.
I think you might have walked in before we went through the order of the meeting. You'll just present your information to us, and we just ask that you take 15 minutes or less. The clerk will let you know if we're getting close to that time, and the board will have a chance to ask questions to you. Then the county will do the same, and I'll circle back to you. Okay?
Sure.
So just go ahead and present your information to us. Okay?
So is the address is 3532 Seekers Landing, and the lot number is should be.
Yeah, we've got that.
Okay.
We got the property.
So this is fairly brand new home, and it's just built in '24, like end of the '24. Like I think they just have a completion of end of July or something, and of '24. And is this whole community is called Seekers Landing is still building, and there's I think 23 more homes need to be built, and is on Seekers Shortcut Road, as she says. The value of the house is built in 2023, right next to me, which has a bigger lot than my lot. And there is like 4 or 5 different style and different sizes of square footage of homes. Builder building in the same neighborhood is a townhome, so they have like a 6 homes in one building. And the outside 2 edges, they have like 0.7 acre, and in the middle they have 0.5 acre, 0.05 acre on every home. But the square footage is different, and they have different plans, like the smaller homes and the bigger homes. So to start with, there is like a conduct whatever that, I'm not here to blame anybody, but everybody have a different square footage of that. So builders start selling those and they advertise on their website, on in every other place, and appraiser have the same square footage is called 1666 square footage of the home, which is called Manchester. So Manchester is one of their design, and they also have Wiley, they also have Catawba. Catawba is their largest one, which is like almost 1,800 square feet, and they have like a 0.07 acre, and Manchester have 0.05 acre. But because of this combined appraisal, like what I was explained, that is doing for the whole society, and they put everybody in the same bucket. Doesn't matter how big is your land and how small is your land, and doesn't matter, like basically no difference if somebody having a more space or somebody having a less space, and they are charging the same price on every piece of the lot, like whether it's a 0.5 or whether it's a 0.7. So that is the one thing. The other thing is they have like, according to my understanding is wrongfully, but I could be wrong because there is no way I can prove that other than submit the papers to you guys. And even though the drawings, which is on the page number, page number 18. So on the page number 18, under the area summary, they are showing you first floor is 711 square feet and the second floor is 955 square feet. But I don't have anything to back up with that beside this paper, and this paper is coming directly from the builder. And the builder advertised the same home as they have like, depend on the lot, is between 1666 to 1688 square feet of the Manchester design, depend on which street you have that design. And even the other papers, which I think you should have that, also the appraiser from the bank, he also used the 1666, which I have this, I already submitted to her, but I don't know if she put it in there. That also says 1666, and also I had to verify with the builder is all the Manchester, they are 1666, exception of a couple of them like 1668.
Can I ask you a quick question? I mean, if I'm looking at this correctly, did you pay $328,000 for the property?
I was trapped, yes.
So that's your sale, that July 2024,
Yeah.
and then are you
Yeah.
aware the county's just got a value of $330,600?
They
That's the way I'm
now,
looking
but
at it.
the house is built in there for 2023. They had a value in 2024 for 236. And if you go in the.
Yeah, I'm looking at the total value, though. Land, improvements,
I'm talking about the
yeah.
total, 236. There is some sales happen in my community, parcel number 07027708 is 296. The parcel number 07027635 is 297. Parcel number 07027653 is 300. 300 and 500,
Yeah.
300, 500, and 0727636 is like 301, and
Right.
then 070.
Yeah, we got all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at all that.
So there is one other underneath the list, which I don't know if they give it to you. I put some parcel numbers in the very near the community, and they are even the 0.9 and 0.26 acre and bigger homes, and their value is like 246, 270, even smaller. So I think my property value is they increase like very unreasonably, and I'm trying to request that to bring it down. If I don't even have that's not even 1 year yet probably. So there is like the homes, previously they were like 1 year old, they were like under 236, even the bigger lot than my lot,
Yeah.
and bigger square footage.
Okay. Let me see if members of the board have questions, Mr. Ali. Mr. O'Keefe, do you?
No questions right
Yeah.
now.
I want to hear from the county.
Okay. And to make sure I'm correct here, and then we'll hear from the county, and I'll circle back to you after the county presents their information. But what is your opinion? Is your opinion of value what I'm looking at here, 240,000?
That's what I'm basing on the previous input, but I didn't put like, because I have no.
Yeah, I'm trying to gather why you paid 328 for it and you think the value's 240. I
There
mean,
is a long story, I don't want to waste your time, is actually I got ripped off from the builder also, but there is some other stories, so they have told us something different, and I have some my personal reasons, so I say, you know what, even it's more money, just go for it.
Yeah.
It just like all together cluster of things.
Well, and keep in mind, I mean, we've got to look at sales data information, too, but let us hear from the county, and maybe they can help clarify some of this.
I just want to add one
Yeah.
point, is the county, when they give you the comparable, they only give you the comparable only within my community, not give me surrounding of the
Well,
community, because they are saying their sales are enough sales in your community, so that is actually forced by one builder. But if you look at the all surrounding or other builder next to that, which is like literally like 2 minute of drive, they are like cheaper.
Keep in mind, though, I mean, those are the most comparable homes to yours because they're
Right there, yeah.
right there, the closer, and they're within the same community, and not exactly alike, but very, very similar.
Right,
But,
and very similar, there is a other, I think, called River Edge, or River something, which is on the Rocky River, which is not even a 2 minute drive from my community, and you just make a left and you're right there.
Right.
That is also under a new development is building over there.
Okay. Let me hear from the county, and
sure.
once they present, I will circle back to you
Sure.
for any final comments, Mr. Ali.
Sure.
And,
Good afternoon.
good afternoon, Ms. Wiggins.
So 3532 Seacrest Landing is located in a townhome community named Seacrest Landing, which was built by MI Homes. And they're still building. They should be almost complete, but when the structure is finished, the community is finished, it would probably be about 172 units. I ran a sales report, and you can see that on page 37. All are comparable and identical to the subject, and most of the sales, or pretty much all the sales, were from 2024, which is closer to the reevaluation date. And with this comparable, that's when we decided, showed us that we could reduce the value to the 330,600. Mr. Musa and I had several conversations about his property and the square footage. I think there's a difference of just 45 square feet. Him and my supervisor, Greg Allman, were in communication. Mr. Musa sent him plans from the builder to try to rectify the square footage of there was discrepancy between the 1666 and we have 1711, which is 45 square feet. But when Mr. Allman put the numbers in and drew the sketch, from the builder's plans, it was actually coming out to be more square footage. So we ended up reverting back to the county sketch of the square footage of the 1711. So we fixed that issue. So he was talking about the lot values, and, you know, we do it on allocation when, you know, the builder put the lots out, and we do about 20% of the sales value. I think that's about all I have that he was confused about. We stayed within the community,
Right.
because we have exact models that sold. All the one that's on the comparable sales are identical to his, so
Right.
we would just stay at the county's value of the 33600.
Recent and good comps, it looks like to me.
Yes,
Yeah.
all 2024.
Let me see if there's any questions of the county. Mr. Smith? Nope. Mr. O'Keefe?
You say they're the exact, they're the, I may not get this right, it's the Manchester model?
Yes.
Is that, so you're, got it. Thank you, that's all I've got. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Wiggins. Any final comments, Mr. Ali?
Just wanna add that is, I know she explained me that we do just like a massive appraisal, we don't do individual homes. My point is that here is, it's not fair to somebody have like a 0.7 acre and somebody have a 0.5 acre. When I was actually originally buying 0.7, but I was getting charged more for the land and more for the square footage building on top of that, and I cut down that to the smaller because of, okay, you know, that's too much. So, but over here, they count apple and oranges in one same line.
Yeah, I won't get into this a whole lot right here, but typically in those developments, you know, where you have all the lots are similar size, they're not gonna be the exact size, but they're similar size, they're gonna pretty much all have the same
Same
value. Okay? Even though there may be a little bit of discrepancy in the size, it's not gonna be
1 acre, 2
appraised by
acres.
the square footage of the lot.
So you guys count 0.7 and 0.5 same?
Not us, but I mean, the way it's looked at in the sales model.
But
In most of your developments with similar size lots, you're gonna see the same value for all the lots.
So
Okay?
if you look at it, they charge everybody the land on the same
Right,
numbers,
right.
like, you know.
And that's what you're gonna see in similar developments and even other developments with single-family homes. I mean, you're gonna see that same method used, okay?
So I was just trying to request you guys, if you guys can, you know, because of the, you know, the wrong square footage all over, and I don't know what you go after and what you consider is accurate. You go after the survey, or you go after the builder's plan, or all those things are submitted to you, even like a survey or appraiser. who
Well, it
went-
sounds like y'all have gone back and forth on the
No,
size.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, these are the connected to me,
Right,
you know.
yep,
So if say whatever the price, whatever the value she's doing, if she cut down the square footage, is automatically the price cut down as well. So I'm just trying to give both sides, you know, that's all.
yeah, yeah. I mean, smaller, on a big scale, you're gonna get less value, but the smaller on the per square foot is usually
Goes
gonna be
up.
higher. Okay?
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's a lot less, you're still gonna get a lower value, but the price per square foot on a smaller one may be a lot of times higher than the larger, okay? There's good comps here, though, that the county's presented, and some of the same comps that you presented, and I reckon where I was having a little bit of trouble is just looking at what you paid for it versus the value that the county has on it. It just looks like they're spot on, you know? But I kind of get, it sounds like part of it was the lot size difference, is what you were
Lot
hung.
size also difference, and, I had said to Mr. Greg, I said, Mr. Greg, like, you should not charge the smaller lot the same price what you're charging for the bigger
Yeah,
lot.
but they-
Technically, but they're saying we cannot make it separate.
Yeah.
They says we do it one appraiser.
Yeah.
But, to me, it's not fair, but you guys are the boss here, so you decide.
I don't know if we're the boss, but yeah,
Yeah.
we see this same method, okay? And so as I said before, I mean, after we finish hearing all the cases today, we'll go into the deliberation phase, and then you'll be notified of our decision, within 30 days, normally within 30 days by the county, okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ali.
Thank you.
All right, we will move on to hearing number 5.
Okay?
This is going to be for property key number 01060013A. The taxpayers are Sean and Rodney Simpson, and they are present. This was a case that was tabled prior that we're going to come back to today.
Revisit, okay?
This was tabled on the meeting on July 9th.
And I think I remember most of this one, but we need to be refreshed on it, I believe. But from looking at the property and, I remember quite a bit about this one, but
Yes, sir. So this property is located in like the northeastern part of the county. It's north of 218 off Fish Road, out in the Piedmont area. Now, the information, I didn't know if y'all wanted me to present the information y'all requested, or if you would like Mr. Simpson to speak, or how y'all would like to handle that, since it was tabled from July 9th.
yeah. I think I remember most of it, but if he would like to speak, that is fine. So you've got the property located
Yes,
for
sir.
us. And then I would probably, from the county, like to be refreshed on, and I think I remember, but I'd like for the whole board to hear it on what we were going to have the county do and bring back to us. I don't know if you want to go ahead and tell us that
Yeah, I'll
now.
go ahead and do that right now.
Yeah, okay.
So if you look on page 36, it gives the 2015 FEMA flood layer map. And there was that little circle area down at the bottom where you requested that to be measured out to see what that acreage was, just because you're wondering if you were wanting to add it. And when measuring that acreage out, it came out to 1.7 acres was that little open area for that flood section.
It looks like an island.
Correct. And then the other information that was requested was surrounding property record cards, like just getting information for surrounding properties. So if you go to page 47, that has the 2015 FEMA flood layer, and then it also gives the topography lines. And once you get to that map, once you see it, you'll see I have the subject labeled, and then you'll see PRC number 1 all the way up to PRC number 6. And when looking at that map, you'll see on the subject line down near the creek, you see those topography lines. They get very tight, but that is not uncommon for that area. A lot of those parcels have tight topography lines, and they all slope down to the creek. And when reviewing all those parcels, we have not adjusted for topography on any of those parcels. And I'm still not recommending a change for that, just because, from my standpoint, just for the equity, to keep it in line. Now, if y'all choose to do something different, you're more than welcome to. But when reviewing those cards, the subject property is 55.382 acres. When you break that down, we have it at $6,695 per acre. And then going off that map, just going to PRC, the property record card number 1, this one was the Balcom tract. It is 110 acres, and we have that property valued at $6,847 an acre. So we have his tract being smaller, valued less than a 110 acre tract. And this tract does have less flood. It only has 2.722 acres of flood on it, but it also has no access. The second one I pulled over there, along those same lines, it is a 70.47 acres. It has 22.554 acres within the floodplain, and we have that parcel valued at $9,613 per acre.
Which number was that again?
That was on the map, it's PRC number 2. The people's last name is Staten, and their parcel number ends in 004. And going to the third property record card, this tract is 76.682 acres. They have 8.439 acres of flood on their parcel, and we have their parcel valued at $10,169 per acre. Property record card number 4 that I have labeled on that map, it is a 45-acre tract, and they have 18.11 acres of flood, and they also have no access. And we have their rate value at $7,660 per acre. The property record card number 5, this parcel, it has 3.6562 acres of flood. It is 119.79 acres, and we have them valued at $8,895 per acre. And the final property record card that I included was number 6. It has 12.965 acres of flood. It is a 21.82 acre tract, and we currently have their parcel valued at $8,996 per acre. And when looking and going through all this information, the subject property is still valued at the $6,695 per acre. So with him being a 55.382 acre tract, and we have him valued less than 100 acre tracts at the rate per acre, I mean, we're given the flood, we're given the no access. It looks like, to me, that supports the value how we have.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was getting to, maybe, is what, I think you just said it, those are the adjustments or influences that have been applied to it, is the no access and the flood.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I do remember the taxpayer talking about how difficult it was to get
Ever get there yet?
to get to that property and that kind of thing. So that's been taken into account.
Yes, sir. That's when, I mean, we had the flood adjustment when we originally sent out the notice. We had this property valued at $426,100. I did notice an adjustment that did need to be made, and that's when I lowered the value down to $370,800.
Right.
In regards to that little island that's being referred to on the FEMA floodplain, we follow the FEMA floodplain. I can't go against that. Y'all requested that to be measured. It was about 1.69, so I just called it 1.7 acres. And I believe the last thing that the board requested was like the acreage of severe topography going down to the creek. I mean, if I'm making that determination, it was like 5.7, 5.8 acres. But when speaking with Mr. Simpson, I mean, I said I would say maybe 6 acres is what I would go with, just to make it even, because severe topography can be very objective.
Okay. Thank you. Good information.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you very much. Mr. and Ms. Simpson, would y'all like to speak?
How y'all doing?
Doing good, doing good.
I don't know how you figure out these pages,
The red numbers,
red numbers.
kind of, and some of them may be
In the hole.
in the hole on the top left. A lot of them are,
You gotta fill
Some
them
are
in.
on the right, some are on the left.
yeah, a lot of them are on the top right, a lot of them are on the top left.
I knew the last time I had a hard time with numbers in the page. Bear with me, I know I don't have the six here. Oh, this is the original one, this ain't the last one I sent in.
Yeah, I need for you to speak to the mic, speak in the mic if you would there when you're ready.
Okay, anyway, this page here was from the last one. I sent another one, but, to get back to a little bit of what he said, some of the properties that, he mentioned, like the Eddie Staten, I know that property, there was one on down the road, I know it. Their property does not have, all the cliffs and everything I got. Eddie Staten's, he's got a nice driveway right into his place. He don't have the flood that I have. And when it comes to compare comps, I get it. And if you're in a house development, this house and this house, I completely understand. This land here, the only thing that is good on this land is that little upper field and that middle field. The bottom field down there, which floods, which is not on your FEMA, which I have, y'all were talking about maybe removing the island, but when I show proof that FEMA is wrong, I sort of kind of, I don't understand if I can show you proof
Yeah.
that bottom field's been flooded. I'm not saying it should get the complete 45% discount, but it ought to get something.
Right.
I mean, because it's wiped out my whole crop down there numerous times.
I'm not saying that's what we're gonna do, but that was one reason we wanted to have it measured.
Right?
Yeah.
But to get back to the whole parcel, when it was all together, 166 acres, and then Kevin Balkins ended up buying the other part, which that was mentioned a while ago. Kevin's tax is 758 from what I gathered for. Cut that in half, it's $379,800. And that was good property and great property, and then mine's the bottom of the pit. And y'all got mine at 378. So I don't understand why my property is worth that much when the land up above it and the one up above it.
Well, and I think what he was going through, and I think he can still show you off to the side, now you got different size tracts, but I think overall, when he was looking at those neighboring properties, the price or the value per acre of yours is less than the surrounding properties.
Well, far as,
That's what he was kind of covering when he was up here.
and the other comps, yes, but when you take that land up above mine, when it got sold, there was $20,000 difference between the top field and the middle field. $20,000 difference, and that was good and great land. And mine's the bottom. So, mine right now, which it was 426, y'all reduced it down to 378. Kevin up there is paying 379.8 for his, 2 times. So, if there's $20,000 difference between the middle field and the upper field, and now there's only $9,000, $800 difference between them, and I've got the bottom of the land, I totally disagree with this. I mean, and again, I get comps and I understand what your process you're trying to do there, but I also think I have a one-off land. Nobody in there has got the cliffs like I got and got the flood that I have. And, I mean, our whole goal is to turn it over to farming, so the only property is the fields that's any value. And again, it's just the top one and the second one, that bottom one, you're scared to do anything down there.
Well,
So,
and that's why we wanted to have them look at the surrounding properties, and that's why we tabled it the first time, was to kind of have this looked at and try to look at the equity there
Right.
between the property owners. So, let me make sure there's no other questions though with the board to you or your spouse, Mr. O'Keefe. Do you have any questions for Mr. Simpson?
I just want to understand, he's talking about a $20,000 difference. That's where I get, you're saying that the property to the north, PRC number
the
1,
property straight up. from there.
6,847 an acre,
This,
and, yeah,
all this
That.
right here used to be one piece of property. All this.
gotcha.
It was 166 acres roughly.
And that's,
So then it got divided in a third and a third and a third. Well, again, when it got divided up by the land number and not by the value. So this upper part is valued more than this middle part and this part. So this is the bottom, this is the pit here, so it's good or great, good, and bad. So originally, this part here got sold to Kevin Balcom, and I'll have to go back and look at the numbers. But anyway, the difference between when this got sold from the Martins to the Balcoms, and then this got sold because this was better land, there was $20,000 difference between these two. So this was, like I said, good land, or great land, good land, and then this is the bad land. So now we're saying all this is together, if you cut it in half, that's come up with 379.8. And you're saying that I'm supposed to pay 378 for this? And this is just killer land compared to this? I hope I answered your question.
I think I understand. Thank you.
You're taking half, yeah, I see what you're doing. I mean, you're looking at his total value, and his is about twice as large. and-
Yeah, because again, I mean,
The
it
per
was all
acre.
one until just a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And then it got, like I said, divided up in a third, third, and third.
Okay.
So, to me, this is the only land that's close to compare this to, and this land ain't nowhere close to being as valuable as these
Yeah.
are.
Well, like I said, that's why we had some of this looked at.
Right.
Okay, so what we'll do from here, I mean, I'll maybe give the county, maybe see if they have any further comments to make, but we'll go into the deliberation phase and then make a decision on this, and then you'll be notified of it, okay? But we have not decided on anything yet, okay? So,
All right, so to try to clarify, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, the 20,000 difference he's coming up with, if you turn to page 38 in the packet, you will see a deed that is from Kevin Balcom. Like, it's going from multiple different people to Kevin Balcom. If you go down to the bottom of that, it says the intent or purpose is to convey 1/3 undivided interest in the property of the tax parcel for the containing approximately 122 acres. We're not able to really use this deed because it's not a whole transfer. That's why I was not able to consider, because they're only giving up 1/3 of the parcel. And then the other one is from, starting on page 43, it is another transfer, and it's to Kevin Balcom as well. And the first one on page 38 was for $245,000. The one starting on page 43 was for $265,000. So that's the $20,000 difference. But if you look at this one, the intent of this deed was to convey 1/3 undivided interest in the reference parcel, but the grantee already owns 1/3 of the undivided interest, so it's not a whole transfer as well. So we're not able to really consider
Yeah.
these.
Yeah.
So that's why we had to go out and pull just the vacant land sales and look at it from that aspect of it. And with that aspect, I mean, we're coming in lower than the median price per acre.
right,
So-
okay. Any further questions that y'all have?
Thank you.
Smith, okay, okay. Thank you, Mr. Smith, okay. Good there, okay.
All right, we will go to hearing number 3 for property key number 04117029 for Rhonda Helms, and the taxpayer is not present today.
Okay. And the next one,
Then we have hearing number 4, property key number 04306011D for Patricia and Dwight Gaddy, and the taxpayer is also not here.
they're also not here, okay.
That's correct.
So with that now, are we ready to go into the deliberation phase of the meeting?
Then we have hearing number
Oh.
6.
Wait a minute, got you, sorry.
That's okay. And those are gonna be the staff recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
That is gonna be part of your addendum A.
Right. Got those.
and these have been settled. So we would just need you to
Oh, that was in the front.
make a motion on that.
It
If
wasn't
Right, you
back
got
here.
these. So
Yeah.
we can go ahead and start there,
you
correct?
would like,
Okay.
that's fine.
So taking a look at the staff recommendations, I think there's 6 of them here.
Yes.
And any questions on any of these? And if not, we just need a motion. And I will have to vote since we have 3.
I make a motion, we accept addendum A, staff recommendations for settlements.
So I have a motion from Mr. Smith to accept addendum A, staff recommendations.
Second.
Second from Mr. O'Keefe. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. So motion is carried to accept staff recommendations as presented.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I may, just to inform the board that the second one from the bottom, Craig, Lewis Cox, and Jane Gilliam Cox, that is one that was last week, and y'all asked for it to be tabled. But since that has been tabled, we've communicated with them, and they've agreed to the value that was brought before the board, and they've sent
Okay.
us that in writing.
Okay, so
that's-
we don't need to do anything
Was-
any further.
No,
We're-
just
we're
want to let
good.
you know that it's settled. It's
Okay.
been agreed upon.
Okay, thank you.
Was this the pole barn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's why I didn't remember, because I wasn't here. Okay. All right. All righty.
All right, so then we can circle back to, for deliberation purposes, to hearing number 1, which was for property key number 08048009A. Taxpayer was Charles and Lee Harris, who did present their information today.
I mean, I get all the information there on this one and
Yep.
know it's got some issues, but it looks like to me everything's been accounted for. And,
There are pieces that are not, but it seems like you said, it's accounted for.
yeah, I mean, the main thing was the flood. It wasn't accounted, it's
If the
accounted
flood was
for.
accounted for and the access was
Yeah,
accounted for.
and they got, yeah. And the property still has good access. Granted, it
Yeah.
doesn't have access all the way around it, but it's
It
got
has
good
access,
Yeah.
reasonable access,
I just-
not perfect.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with it.
I make a recommendation that we accept the county's value.
Okay, so I have a motion that we accept the current value of 159.6 on parcel number 08048009A. And
I'll second.
second from Mr. Smith. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. So that motion's carried. And then, okay,
All right, that'll take us to hearing number 2, which was for property key number 07027799. The taxpayer was Musa Ali,
Ali,
and he
yeah.
was here and presented his information today.
Honestly, when they reduced it, I think they hit it right on the number.
was right what he paid for it.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think it's,
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be complaining about that one.
Yeah, and I think there's plenty of comparable sales there
There's
right at him.
tons of comparable
Yeah.
sales.
And I think he was
And
still
marginal
kind of hung up
difference
on
in
that.
the size of the lot
Lot,
of
that's
a
where he-
townhouse
Yeah,
is immaterial.
yeah, yeah.
in terms of equalization, that's what we're here to do. I mean,
Right.
that's-
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So with
Make a
that,
motion, we accept the county's valuation,
Well, I have-
revised evaluation.
so I have a motion from Mr. Smith to accept the county's value of $336,000 on parcel number 07027799.
Second?
Second from Mr. O'Keefe. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So motion's carried.
Hearing number 3, property key number 04117029. Taxpayer Rhonda Helms, who was not present today.
If you don't show,
Right. Accept the current value.
Make a motion. Make a motion that we accept the county's value.
So we have a motion from Mr. O'Keefe to accept the current value of $942,900 on parcel number 04117029. Second from Mr. Smith. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. So motion's carried.
Hearing number 4, For property key number 04306011D was for Patricia and Dwight Gaddy, who were not present today.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the board here?
If they're not here, I make a motion to accept the county's valuation.
So I have a motion for Mr. Smith to accept the county's value of $302,400 on parcel number 04306011D.
Second.
And a second for Mr. O'Keefe. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, so motion's carried.
Hearing number 5 for property key number 01060013A for taxpayers Rodney and Sean Simpson that we heard again today.
I do have some sympathy on this one, given where it is.
I would make an adjustment for that island.
That's exactly what I was gonna
Yeah.
recommend.
Yeah.
Put the
I don't
island
know.
at 45%, like
Yeah.
the rest of the flood
Flood,
is,
yeah.
and give them that.
If I may, can I ask the county a question? The flood, what's assessed on that one for flood is 45%. Is that? That'd be correct. Yeah,
For 1.7 acres, I think they said
Yeah.
they measured it to?
yeah. And take that acreage. Trying to make sure now I think they answered my question on the topo. I mean,
Yeah.
all the neighboring
Yeah.
properties have
Everybody's
topo.
getting
Yeah,
the same treatment.
yeah. But I think that area there
Yep.
that looks like an island, we take that
Yeah.
and
As
adjust.
part of that whole-
Adjusted
Yeah.
as if it is FEMA
Flood.
land
Right.
at 45%. I'll make the motion that we accept the county's valuation minus the 1.71 or whatever the number was, island visual, and declare it effectively FEMA value land, and that would be the value of the property.
Right.
I second that.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second to, and the motion again is to take that approximate 1.7 acre piece and apply a 45%
Said value to it.
influence reduction of it. So,
It's not a, I think it's a value. I'm not,
Va-
is it a
yeah.
value or a reduction?
It'll be a reduction based on 1.7 acres
Yeah.
having the flood influence applied to it.
Right,
Yeah.
correct. So having.
Whatever that is.
Having the flood influence applied to that approximate 1.7 acres. So,
Yeah.
so I have that in the form of a motion from Mr. Smith and a second from Mr. O'Keefe. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. So motion's carried with that adjustment to be made on parcel number 01060013A.
And that's the conclusion of the agenda today.
Okay? So,
Nothing from staff or anything?
any additional comments?
Next meeting is going to be next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
It's
Make
going to
sure
be
it's on my
Wednesday,
calendar.
the 6th of
Yeah,
August.
I got it there.
I'll be here.
I'll be here.
Okay. And a large agenda or not? Yeah, don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we good
Thank
to
I
you.
make a
adjourn?
motion, we're adjourned.
Have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
I gotta go home, cook hamburgers.
Yeah. Get you out of here on time?
That got me out on time.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to say it, I bought some down at this place and they're frozen. They're sitting on the back seat thawing.
No, all right.
Hurt your whole family here.
No,
Getting ready to drive for mine.
4 hamburgers frozen rock solid.